for my love. Party's almost over, and the night is wide.
And welcome back with us today from the Roberts Rules Study Club. We have Denise Welch and we have Joan Milliman. And today we are going to be talking about reconsiderations and rescind or amend motions and all that stuff, right?
All that stuff,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, sometimes when people make a decision, they regret it for one reason or another. Or other
okay.
information comes up that they were not aware of at the time the decision was made, so the decision has to be changed. And rather than make it easy for everybody, it's a little more complicated because otherwise we just have those decisions changed every day.
Right, exactly.
You know, and we have nothing but changed decisions.
Or the people will keep redoing the same motion over and over and over again. And so the time frame is gigantic.
Yeah, exactly.
So one of the first ways to do it is right in the same meeting. If you know you find out you don't have enough money to do what you said you're going to do because some emergency has come up in the meeting, and you've already voted to contribute this amount of money, and oh my gosh, so now's the time to reconsider.
And this is the motion to reconsider,
the motion is
right?
To reconsider, and a member who's voted on the winning side has to bring it up.
And the winning side can be either for or against the motion.
Okay.
So that's always confusing.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, so one way or the other we have to do it. The second on the motion can be anyone, but the originator has to be someone who voted for the motion, either for it or against it.
Okay, let me ask you along those lines. Does it have to be during that same meeting, or can it be?
Absolutely.
It does.
That's the point. It's a time-limited time.
Okay.
So you know something has come up, and it's now or never. And then when the meeting's over, too bad.
Yeah.
That reconsideration can't be done.
Okay.
But there are other ways.
There are other ways of doing the reconsider under a different name.
Okay, and
which
that
brings us into that. If you want to reconsider, it would be a simple thing of saying, Madam Chair, I move to reconsider the vote on the motion relating to X subject. I voted with the prevailing side.
Right.
Because only if I voted on with the prevailing side can I make the motion.
Right.
Right.
So making changes after previously adopting a motion is finalized. So tell us about that. Can that be done again at the same meeting, or can it be done months later?
Well, if it's too late to reconsider, which has to be done within the same meeting, then other things can happen. The motion can be brought up again either to rescind it, and to stop it, remove it, or to change it. There are, again, reasons why this would happen.
Okay. And let me ask you along those lines, if I may, again. What happens if like during the meeting, this motion got approved, okay? And maybe an hour later in the meeting, can you then bring this back, or do you have to do it immediately afterwards and go, wait a minute, I want to change my mind?
No, as long as it's within the same meeting.
Okay.
So it could be that much time could go by. Our meetings are long. So
yeah,
a couple of hours would
and
be
in
fine.
a convention, if a meeting is a 2-day meeting, it would be in that period of time.
Sure.
So it's the same meeting.
Okay.
Whether it's days or hours.
Yeah, right, with the same agenda. That's
same agenda, yeah.
So there's certain rules needed to rescind or amend.
Oh yes. Now, you're not going to just do it willy-nilly. You have to give people warning that this is going to happen. And so, in the notice for the meeting, it is said that we're going to discuss this, and we'll either amend it or rescind it, and so people know. Now, sometimes it does happen in a later meeting, and there's no time to give a notice.
Right.
And it just can come up under new business.
Right.
However, the vote is different when that happens. If they're given notice, then they only have to have a majority vote.
Okay.
But if there's no notice, it takes a 2/3 vote.
So it really pushes people to make sure that they give notice.
Right.
And
Right,
the
exactly.
2/3 vote is of the voting body. However, sometimes it is a majority vote of the entire voting body.
Right.
So we don't, whichever is smaller. So it's usually just
Okay.
the
In
board.
examples, motions to rescind or amend something previously
Right.
adopted.
That the motion to rescind, which is removing it, I
Right.
move to rescind the motion adopted at our June meeting to buy the Smith farm. But if I just want to amend it, I move to amend the motion adopted at our June meeting to buy the Smith property by adding the words not to
Right.
exceed $200,000.
Okay.
So,
All right.
Okay.
And again, that can be done at a later time. Am I
Right, again, by
Yeah.
giving notice, and I want
Yeah.
to reemphasize that.
How to give notice
There
of
are
a
a couple
vote,
of
yeah.
ways. You could announce at the meeting prior to when this motion's going to be changed that this is going to happen, just an announcement. Or it can come out with the written notice of the agenda as part of the agenda.
exactly.
That way everybody's informed.
but don't forget too that if this happened at the prior meeting, now if work has gone into it in the meantime,
Right.
and say it's an escrow for
Yeah.
whatever, then this can't happen.
That's
So
right. It could
that
not go.
that is it's a catch there.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Because
already in process.
if work has already been in process, then you can't do it.
Right, exactly. So renewal of motions, making a motion again after it has been defeated is called renewal of the motion, right?
Yes, and that's a key.
Mm-hmm.
The motion has to have been defeated.
Okay,
So something that was defeated previously is needing to come up again.
okay.
And sometimes these motions, if you're going to be if you're going to be bringing it back, it's a good idea to get the original motion in writing, so at least you have that copy.
You have it there.
Yeah,
Because
In
when,
hand.
when you actually renew the motion, you're going to repeat that whole motion
Right.
as it was,
yeah,
the
exactly.
original motion, and then they vote on it again.
But and Joan, can't this be used for keeping up with technology as well, as we were talking about the cell phones?
You know, in a way, I think that's an amendment to the previous policy. For example, we passed the no cell phones in the gyms, and now the new gym requires a cell phone in order to watch the television.
Right,
And so the rec department is working on changing that, but that will be brought up.
right.
And it's not a renewal, it is an amendment to a previous
It's
previous
amendment.
policy.
Okay.
So if candidates, this is that time of the year.
Oh, yeah.
Want to learn more about Robert's Rules, they can go to lagunawoodsvillage.com, and from there, there's links to on the bottom of the page for the YouTubes and government's resources, and then from there, Robert's Rules Made Simple.
Right, that's one way of
Yeah.
doing it. The way that is easiest for me is on the following slide, where I just copied off the address, the www.youtube.com user Laguna Woods Village, and click on that, and then I search for Robert's Rules,
Right.
and it comes up. Okay, that is my way, which is faster, I think. But the other way is also there. Is there a third way, Ken,
Of course.
that you know? of
You
getting-
can just simply go online and do a Google search, Robert's Rules videos, and in general, you're going to find all kinds of videos out there.
I want to emphasize,
Yeah.
though, that some of them are more interesting than others.
Well, that's true.
And I would strongly recommend Susan Leahy's videos.
Okay.
Yeah, she
because
does a beautiful
she does a
job.
really good job.
All right, and I
And,
want to mention your meeting,
Oh,
because
yes.
that's coming up this Saturday at the Towers at the Key Club Room at 9 o'clock. So if you'd like to join them, you certainly can. If you'd like to find out more information, you can call Mike Straziuso at 949-830-8717. There is the number on the screen. So thank you very much, ladies.
Denny's
you.
going to be our presenter.
All right, you're going to be the presenter
very
this time
exciting.
around?
And guess what I'm going to be giving out?
Yes, a booklet. All right. Very good. So thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
All right. Good
As
to see you,
always.
Debbie.
Again.
All right. You take care. And we only got a couple minutes left.